Check it out, good people. It's happened. Yes, it has finally happened. Marcus Garvey has been pardoned. Marcus Garvey has been pardoned by Joe Biden as one of his final acts in office. It is absolutely true. It's been verified. This has happened. This posthumously pardoned Garvey. His family is happy. The community seems to have some ups and some downs about it, but there's definitely conversation going out as Joe Biden makes one of his final acts in office, a decision to pardon Mr. Garvey, right? So all of these years, this nasty charge has been hung above his head, has really been tarnishing his legacy, is finally being removed. Many in the community are saying this is too little, too late, but the leader of perhaps the largest African movement in the West, organization, the African movement in the West, that he's put together. Over 5 million people were signed his membership inside of the United Negro Improvement Association that Garvey put together in the early 20th century. It's one of the most amazing feats that we've ever seen. As an internet entrepreneur, as somebody who has the advent of the internet and does not have 5 million people even in our reach, let alone inside of our organization, to know that he did this over 100 years ago is absolutely mind-boggling, that somebody can have that type of reach and impact in and around the world. But Garvey was an amazing orator, has an amazing vision, and his Universal Negro Improvement Association was one of the monumental organizations that we've ever seen put together by people, Africans on this side of the Atlantic. But he always advocated Black pride and self-reliance and economic empowerment and do for self and self-determination. So all of those traits that we know, admire, and love about the great brother Marcus Messiah Garvey. We appreciate him and his legacy and his leadership, his tenacity, his fortitude, and his willingness to put his well-being on the line in favor of the community, right? The universal African diaspora, right? One of the great Pan-Africanists trying to work around the world to bring our community together. His Back to Africa movement inspired a lot of people, inspired a lot of Africans in the diaspora to go back home to the mother country, to the motherland, go back home to Africa. Take your time, your talents, your abilities, your skills, your knowledge base, and take that back to the continent. And let's pour that into a place that we can control things, right? A message that is not falling on deaf ears, particularly with the new administration that is coming into office, that has already shown us how they feel about Black and African people in not only this country, but around the world. Trump has said some outlandish things about people of our persuasion, and I don't think that we should take it lightly. Now, he's pardoned the terrorists inside of the January 6th, the J6 fiasco, where they stormed the Capitol and tried to take over the country. This man has pardoned many of these individuals, and he is at the helm right now. So this Back to Africa movement is not something that something that some people are taking seriously and considering in this day and age. Look, I got my secondary passport sitting right here on the continent. So listen, and before the term is out, I may not be here, but it's just good to know that people like Garvey was building and planning on a movement like this long ago, right? So in 1923, he was wrongly convicted of mail fraud, widely believed to be a racially and politically motivated attempt to keep him silent, right? Widely believed by those that understand those forces that was pushing back against Garvey and his self-reliance and independence movement. In 1927, he was deported to Jamaica after his sentence was commuted. But the pardon matters. The pardon matters because this conviction really tarnished the legacy of Garvey, and it's always been something that's hanging over his head and standing in the way of his larger vision, right? So the pardon is seen as a long overdue step. The family has been fighting to get this pardon for decades, right? This is something that for decades that they have been at. So I know that the family is probably at peace with this and happy that something like this has happened. I want to know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think about Joe Biden taking one of his last official offices, one of his last official tasks as president of the United States, to pardon Marcus Garvey and his movement. Let me know down in the comments. You like this? You agree with this? You think this is trash? Is it too little, too late? Is this well-deserved? Please let me know what you think. Yeah, so his final act, again, was signing this into office, right? The posthumous pardon. While it doesn't undo the conviction, it does remove a layer of doubt above the head of the legacy of Marcus Garvey, right? Who is very popular for saying, right, of people without knowledge of their history, their past, and their culture is like a tree without roots, right? And this is something that we push every day, right? Black History every single day here at Urban Intellectuals, because we understand that we don't want to be that tree that doesn't have roots. We want to be firmly planted in who we are. We want to take appreciation for the ancestors and the people that before us, that put their lives on the line to give us these opportunities. People like Marcus Garvey, right? Which way do I point here? All right, there we go. Nope. Marcus Garvey, right? People like him who have gone above and beyond to do the things necessary for the community to move forward, right? Again, there's a lot of pushback against this, but there are a lot of people that are very happy, right? I am one of those individuals that is happy. Too little, too late, maybe. But it's better now than never, right? Because we know the next president is not going to do something like this. So we're glad that President Biden decided to do something of this nature. I think it's wonderful, and we need to tell this story high and far, that we need to stand up and continue to speak truth to power. We need to stand up and continue to educate our mighty people on the legacy and the history of Black and African people on the planet. We need to stand up and continue to elevate those individuals like Marcus Garvey who have put their life on the line for our advancement. And we need to stand up. You know, as Garvey would say, up you mighty nation, up you mighty nation, you men and you women of big affairs, you men and women of high intelligence, you men and women of self-love and commitment to your family, you men and women of the world. Up you mighty nation, and continue to grow and build and move forward together. The work is not done. Let's be excited for the pardon that has happened for Marcus Garvey and his legacy, his family, to be able to take that mental pressure off of them. I am happy for them. I hope that they are happy with this decision. I hope that they are happy with the legacy as we move forward. But let's honor the man, not just in celebration, but by pointing the thumb at ourselves and try to figure out, how can we assist the movement? How can we move the community forward? What is our place in the part of the United Negro Improvement Association, organization inside or not? Let's improve as a community, as a people. Let's continue to grow and build. Let's move inside the legacy, the wisdom, and the self-determination and self-improvement that Garvey insisted upon his organization and his people, right? We might not be moving all back to Africa. We might not all be moving in the same direction at the same time, but let's continue to grow ourselves, the United Negro Improvement Association. Let's continue to improve as a people. Better people make better families, so we have a better family. Better families make better communities, so we improve our neighborhoods and things that are around us. Better communities make a better diaspora, right? As we reach off across the land and link arms and hearts with the global African diaspora, let's continue to move in the spirit of Garvey and self-determination and this do for self mentality, right? And more importantly, let's take appreciation for the moment and honor the man, Marcus Garvey, for the movement and the man that he was and he had. We appreciate you, good brother. Rest in peace. Your work is done, but your legacy lives on forever. And we are proud to be in your shadow, and we'll continue to push your legacy and push the reality of the global African community coming together and working together, right? So one more time for Marcus Garvey. Peace to the family. We love and appreciate the elder and the ancestor Marcus Garvey for the work that he's done. Hey, that's right. My name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. Black History Made Easy is not only our mantra, it is our way of life. Until next time, good people, you know what it is. Love, peace, and power to the people.